Walking down the avenue.
Walking down the avenue.
A few more streets and we'll be through.
Oh,
Okay, we did it.
there we go. I'm on. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good, staying busy and everything. Work, music, all that stuff, the usual.
Mm-hmm.
Can't complain.
Look at that, everybody jumping in. Oh, is your signal okay?
Oh, yeah, I don't know. My phone does that sometimes, so hopefully it doesn't happen.
Okay.
I was thinking.
All right, so everybody who's tuned in, hello. It is I, Ducky Dynamo, once again, with another episode of Walking Down the Avenue, where I talk to people referencing the great Baltimore club music and our culture and see what's good and put together this situation where one day we're going to be able to pin together the actual history and influence and all that good stuff where club music got us. So let's all welcome our guest for today, DJ Al. Wait, let's not welcome him yet. How do you pin the comment to the thing?
I got it. Tap it.
I got it.
You got it? Okay.
Whew.
There we go.
Anyway,
there we go.
it was just blinking at me and shit. I'm like, okay. But
all right, you got it.
Yes. Welcome, DJ Al. Thank you for being my next guest, and we're gonna get into it. But first, I'll let you do the intro as I always do for all my guests. Tell us a little bit about who you are for those who may not be familiar with you.
All right, y'all. So my real name is Alex. I don't remember when I decided to call myself DJ Al. It was just everyone just kind of put DJ in front of their name kind of back then. So I was like, I guess I'll just do that, keep it simple. So I started listening to club music when I was like, I think I first discovered it when I was like 10.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I think I was like 10 years old. So anyway, yeah, so I discovered Baltimore club music when I was like 10. And then actually, little fun fact, and we'll probably get into it more later. I'm actually from Jersey. So it's kind of funny. Yeah, so it's kind of funny how everything just went down. But anyway, I just loved club music. I got addicted like right away. And then pretty much since when I first heard it, I think someone had come up to me in school and they were like, "Yo, you can't Wu-Tang better than me." I was like, "What?" I was like, "What are you talking about?" So from that, me and my brother looked it up. We started finding all this stuff, and then I found out about Rockin' Off, and I saw King of Baltimore, and I was like I said, I was instantly hooked. And then from that time on, I just kept looking up the music, and then what led me to end up starting to look for more. So I would go on MySpace. I was on iMeme. I was on LimeWire.
Mm-hmm.
And some of you probably don't remember iMeme, but that was the best. There's tracks on there I'll probably never hear again, honestly. Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah, so I started doing that, and then I actually started uploading music on YouTube because I was like, I don't see it on YouTube that much. Maybe I'll just start uploading it. So I started doing that, and it actually started to blow up at one point. I think one song that really... I'm sorry?
What year was it when you started putting them on YouTube? You remember?
It might have been 2009. I was still... Yeah, it might have been 2009. So it was a while before I actually started doing that. But anyways, I started uploading on YouTube. And at first, it was, it started slow like anything else. And then I remember, I think when things started to kick off, that was when Rihanna had come out with Russian Roulette. Mm-hmm. And I remember I uploaded Rick Knox's remix. And because that song, I thought was just amazing. I didn't think that much of it at the time, but for some reason when I uploaded that, yeah, DBSG 68. Well, it was... So funny thing about that name, real quick. So I just made a YouTube channel. I called it DBSG. It was kind of based on the fact that I was like, I also like anime, like Dragon Ball and stuff. Mm-hmm. So that was the reason I kind of used that name. So at first it was GBSG 34, and I don't know, just random numbers. So anyway, I just started uploading music. Rip Knox's remix blew up, and then it got 100,000 plays, and all these people was bumping it. And I think that at that point, then a lot of people started bumping his music, and they started bumping out everyone else's tracks. But then, I think a year later or something, I just discovered copyright issues, and then the channel ended up getting deleted, and I was like devastated. So then I decided to do it again because I still had all the tracks I had originally uploaded. So
Right.
then I made Devious 68. Just started that. But then over the years, I started finding the producers. I don't remember what year I started making Club, but there's a DJ S. Dot named Blair. I don't know if he's on. He's probably on the live, but he's the one who first sent me samples and kind of guided me through FL Studio. So shout out to my bro. And then from there, I just started connecting with more and more people, and I found the dancers, and then I eventually expanded to Facebook with the Baltimore Club dance page because I felt like there's so many really dope videos out there that I felt like people weren't seeing. So I wanted to share them and bring more light, and it was working and stuff. And it still does. She made an Instagram, but like I said, I actually didn't meet some of the dancers until later down the road. I was living there from 2017 to like the beginning of 2019. So that's when I really met everybody for the first time, and I really got to film the videos, and that's when I got into like videography and stuff for the scene. So it's been a long path, but I'm still here, still doing it, and I'm not stopping anytime soon. So
Very nice.
yeah.
Okay. So let's go back to the beginning again, all the way back. So you mentioned that you think you was like 10 when you first heard club music. Do you remember who it was, what song, and where you were and all that? Oh no. Okay, so Pete, if he drops out all the way, I'm going to restart it, and he'll just join and everybody will just come back. Happening? Yep. Okay, hold on. Let me try to. He's gonna. There we go. Add it back. That Instagram.
Yo.
Okay.
I don't know what just happened. Yo, I was watching myself. That was the weirdest thing.
I was in there like, what? Okay, take two.
All right.
So what I had asked was, I was asking, as far as when you first heard club music, do you remember or do you know what song it was, and how did you hear it if you were still in Jersey then? No?
Well, so basically what happened was what I noticed at that time was a lot of the tracks that was already popular in the city were starting to make their way up like that. And I mean, that was now later down the road I learned, that was because of people like DJ Tamel and stuff. So then all the popular Baltimore Club songs that was already popular, like that was booming everywhere, they were really just making their way up there. And I noticed that there was like it was like a small delay. It's kind of funny. It kind of reminds me of how like in the Caribbean you might hear like a certain song being popular there, but it was like already popular up in the States. It's kind of like that. It wasn't that big of a gap, but it was a little bit of a gap because like you would go on YouTube and you hear the songs and see them in videos from like a while ago already, not too long, like I said. So I think that's what happened. And like I said, I was pretty much listening to, Toad It, the SpongeBob. That was one of the biggest ones, and I was trying to do that. I couldn't do it for my life. I looked like I was about to fall over. So everyone was doing that. And then, hands up, thumbs down. Then eventually I saw when Bang came out with MIA and Black Star and everything. So it was a lot of that. And I was just kept looking for more and more, but it was just hard to like track everything, kind of like pinpoint everything, because there wasn't really like a large social media platform where it all was in one place. Honestly, I'm surprised I found out all that I did just from like looking at videos and finding the dancers like that, because some of it I connected with people who like YouTube comments or just, I don't know, something on MySpace, stuff like that. So
most of your connection came through the dancers then. That's kind of how you were able to actually break into and find your way within the music scene.
Yeah, I would say that was a big part of it. I mean, just from watching videos, I was
Mhm.
really like, I wanted to know, oh, I remember this dancer I saw in another video, he killed it, and I see him in another video, and then, you learn things from either the title of the video or what they're saying and who's who, especially with the dance battles. So then that's when I kind of got a feel. I get this guy's style. I recognize this person, this and that. And then it was like really, I don't know, at some point, like down the road is when I started to see more. I remember like this one dance group, SON, like Kiddo Kira, Omari, BG, dancers really know them, stuff like that. So like when I saw them, I remember I think I was trying to find more, so I found them on like Facebook and I connected with them there. And then that's how I started getting more of their music and then stuff like that. So it was a trip. I'm just thinking about it now. I'm just like, wow, like I really went hard looking for it. So it was a good time.
No, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. So tell me, how much do you actually party?
You know what's funny? I would say honestly, I don't really party like that much. Like
Mm.
growing up, I mean, I would say I was a pretty shy person. I didn't really go out like that. I would see and hear about these parties and stuff, but I couldn't go to them.
Mhm.
So if I had the chance with my friends or whatever, we just play the music or we would just bump it or whatever. And that's really what I did. So it wasn't like I never at that time I never went to like a real crazy party, just straight club all night or something like that.
Right.
I mean, I always wanted to go to the docks. I didn't get the opportunity to go, but
Hmm.
I would read about it, I'd see about it. I remember I saw that one video when they came down from MTV with Sway and everything. I was like, man, I want to go there, because then I was like, I finally get to see everyone. So it was pretty quiet, I would say, growing up, not being able to go in some cases, but you definitely see it in certain
Yeah.
spaces. So yeah.
So it's somebody who doesn't necessarily experience what the Baltimore club party experience is. How do you feel as though that affects the way you love the music? Because talking, I know you've probably seen prior interviews, um, talking with, other producers, we all, and other DJs, we all kind of come to this thing where it's like, well, an element of Baltimore club music itself is the party. So without
Mm.
the party, that's where we are now looking at club music. So from the story you've told so far, you have you learned all the other elements without the party, but you still love it. you know.
Yeah. You know what I think is funny? I think I was like I like this so much. I mean, I knew that was like a huge thing. So like
Hmm.
obviously when I had the chance, I'd be blasting it whether I was at home or in the car.
Right.
I even um like I remember at the time like our old car didn't have a CD player, but it had like you can buy this like cassette thing and have like an auxiliary cord attachment. So I would try and play it like that. So while that's a huge part of it, I think I watched so many videos and like saved them somewhere in my favorites list that I just got like a really strong feel for it. But then definitely when you actually experience it and you are in a party setting, you just hear it blasting in the speakers and you just feel that pressure in like your chest or whatever. Like that's when I was like, man, this is serious. Like it was good, but at first you need to like adjust to it. I'm like, dang, this is like some real hardcore like dance music. So and I think over the years, especially like once I kind of got out there, graduated and all that, then I started to like go out to different events. Then I definitely got a feel for it. So I mean, it didn't feel too different, but I mean, seeing it in person was definitely a lot different than watching it online. So I think that was the biggest thing for me. So
Yeah, that's it. So look, I'm on a Remember a couple weeks ago, or like a month ago, when we were just talking about, well,
mhm.
club music in general.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
is, You mentioned I was talking about your page, the
Mhm.
the dance videos page, and how far that's kind of taking stuff. What do you think? Tell
Mhm.
us about what your next steps for that page are.
So I guess looking back, honestly, like I didn't expect the page. Like, yeah, 27,000 followers. I mean, yeah, I could have a lot more.
Sure.
You know, I mean, the biggest thing is I'm not present right physically there, so it's harder for me to get out there and do stuff I want to do, and then you have work and just life, whatever. So that's
Right.
one thing. But I mean, still, I honestly I did not expect it to get to this point at all. Like I kind of did it because I was like, okay, there used to be some dance pages, but now like nobody they kind of stopped doing it. So I decided, I'm gonna make a dance page, and then just I would just kind of learn as time goes on just how to do it, and then it just kept growing and growing, and then finally it kind of clicked. And I guess
Mm-hmm.
now, I mean, like I'm still real busy with like work and stuff like that, but like I mean there's certain videos that I'm always thinking of like what kind of video I want to film, because I only
Mm-hmm.
started getting into like videography like maybe 2 years ago. No, it's
Yeah.
towards like the end of 2017. So and I would say I got pretty good pretty quick. I mean, there's still a lot to learn, but I mean, as far as visual appearance, I think I do a decent job with that. But anyways, um, there's certain concepts I want to do. Like, so the last video I filmed was it was last summer. So it was a couple people in TSU and TSR, and we filmed a video to Juice's Back It track, and then at the end we kind of put like it was a small idea I had. I was like, okay, I kind of want them to transition, but I want them to do like the follow the leader thing. So then that's when that six fundamental video came out, and then
Mm-hmm.
that went viral on TikTok, and then like a bunch of people was reposting it, and then basically my next thing, I have a song. It's pretty much done. I haven't previewed it really. I showed some people, but the song I have, it's going to be for part two of the video,
Okay.
and I definitely want to put that out. Hopefully, I don't know when. It's just complicated because I don't know how things going with this virus right now,
Right.
and then having a bunch of people in one spot. So,
Right.
but I mean, as far as that video, I definitely want to have that done and just kind of really expand on the first part of it, because I think the dance style is just so complex, but at the same time, it's not super complex when you break it down, but
Mm-hmm.
execution it is, and how things are supposed to look. Because like for me, when I was trying to learn, teaching myself from like watching YouTube videos or whatever, it just wasn't clicking until I saw it in person. And then I
Mm-hmm.
actually saw how much energy they're actually putting into the movements. Because I was like, dang, I'm pretty much doing nothing. So that was a huge thing, and I just kind of want to, for the second video, I want to recreate that. Just also show all the movements, because I think a lot of people, they watch the videos and they see things that they're familiar with, but they're not taking it in. Maybe they don't understand this move, or like see how this flows into that. So that's what I'm trying to do to kind of help people like understand it better, because I think sometimes someone may be intimidated by the style
Mm-hmm.
and be like, oh, that's a lot. I don't know about that. But I mean, you can't take your eyes off it. It's like, wow, I want to learn that. And that was it for me. So that's kind of the goal with my next video. But other than that, I mean, there's just all kinds of ideas and stuff I have in my mind that I hopefully can bring to life. So,
For real, no, like that's lit. Like, let's speak on that a little bit. The importance, and that's something that you could, I could say that you taught me. Not so
mm,
much. I don't know. I don't know if I want to. Let me see if I want to give you that much credit for it. Maybe, but to me, it is the importance of the visual with the music. I'm busy over here always talking about no, it's the party, but
mm,
I'm a DJ. I'm biased. I
mm,
used to, but then I got broken and fat, so now I can't dance no more. So, so
mm.
it's like, I get it. So it's like, no, I get it, but just simply the most viral content comes from when you can actually see what the dancers are doing and how it's broken down. And
Mhm.
so one of the things that I have seen, and it's something that you've always, pushed the dancers, the producers, everyone to do, is get your visual game together. Get
Yeah.
something together so that people can look at it and see it. And I think that, like I told you, that's a really important part of how we're able to spread our music now. It's through this, and it's through you finding the videos and stuff like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And I think the second on that is like, because when I first came down and I met some of the dancers, like I wanted to start filming stuff right away. It was just still like I need to learn how to use my camera and all that. But the biggest thing I think, like there are so many videos on YouTube that I guess they're not lost. I mean, they might be a little bit harder to find, and I've kind of organized them in different playlists and stuff. But there are so many videos on YouTube that one I think honestly would go viral if sometimes it just doesn't pop off like that. There's so much like crazy content from over the years, and I'm still blown away watching videos from like 5 years ago. I'm like, I've never seen anyone do something like that. But anyways, like as far as the visual, I felt like there has been a lack of consistent like HD good content.
Right.
So, and I think when I came and I started getting better, that definitely popped off. Like I started filming the videos and I started helping out the classes, and then I felt like other people started to pick up on that too. And I thought that was cool to see. Like I don't show myself that often on this page, first of all. I mean I do sometimes when I feel like it, but my point is as long like I just wanted to create content, have other people follow the same pattern. And even if you just got a cell phone, you can use your cell phone, you can do whatever you want with that. I mean, as long as it comes out good and you're putting the dance scene and your style in like a good light. So that was my main goal. But and like you said, the music and the video goes hand in hand, because sometimes someone may have a track. You might listen to like there's certain tracks I've heard. I'm like, okay, that was cool. And then I see somebody dance to it, and then I go back to the track. I'm like, okay, now the track sounds a lot harder. You know what I'm saying? And even a track that might sound simple, you just speed it up a little bit, and like you see someone dance to it, and then you didn't even know that someone could make that track sound so complicated all of a sudden. Like it's things like that. That's what I liked about it. So. And yeah, that's pretty much my goal with the videos and trying to help everyone do that with themselves. So
would you say that's probably your biggest tenet of advice as far as everybody? Now we're in the segment of the interview where we start talking about just the scene currently, and how it's as it stands now. You're familiar with that. You know all about that. You are, but. What would it sounds like that's like your biggest piece of advice right now is just to try to keep the visual. That's like where it sounds like you're going. Like if anyone can do anything, do that.
Yeah, and it's a combination of visual and audio aspect, but ultimately it's about being consistent. Be consistent because like, if you post something 1 week and then you don't post again for like 3 weeks, people are not gonna like literally if I like when I repost someone's video and maybe pops off for whatever reason, gets a couple thousand plays, some of those people sometimes they get like a couple hundred followers in a few hours, and that's good. But if you don't keep up that, the reason they're following you is because they want to see more. And honestly, I know people have things going on, I completely understand that, but I guess sometimes it's just difficult to kind of work with everybody, because sometimes people don't want to do this or that. They don't have the same mindset I have. I mean, it is what it is.
Right.
But at the same time, I feel like there's a lot to benefit of it, because I mean, you already got the talent. Now, imagine if you're consistent, you're putting out really good content, you really know how to market yourself and your followers. You never know who's gonna hit you up, because over the past 2 years, I've had some really interesting emails from certain things that went on, and like I don't like the Keep It Going challenge. Like the Division had reached out and stuff, and they really liked being more club dance scene and everything. I had no idea they even knew about it. You know what I mean? So I mean, it's just a combination of stuff. And then people are always looking for dancers for certain things. They say, hey, can this person make it do this to my song? Can this person do that? Or like even I remember last summer, and I would try and pass off opportunities if possible.
Yeah.
But, people ask, oh, I need a couple people to dance here. But, that's not primarily my field. It is really just to kind of promote the scene. But if I can help someone some sort of way, I will obviously go out and do that. But yeah, it's definitely the biggest thing. It's the visual and the audio. You just want to make sure those things are good. And you're like catching someone's attention as soon as they like hit play in the video or something,
Mm-hmm.
So.
What kind of resources do you think are available for people who don't know how to do that? Because look at Trey in the comments talking about, I don't know how to TikTok. Things like that.
See,
it's cool. It's cool. I don't either. But it's like, I know some comments, not from this cat today, but it is stuff like people feel as though they don't have the time or they don't have the skills or whatever the case. But like you're saying, it's not always that deep, and it doesn't always have to be super ass, fully fleshed out video.
You don't need to do that. You find that one good hallway in your place. You turn on the light. You put it on your phone on the tripod. You'll be set. Just put the music over it. You just gotta bring that energy that's gonna make someone want to keep watching. Because I feel like every dancer, not even just dancers, but every person that has an Instagram account or whatever social media, you have a certain persona that your followers are gonna be familiar with. All you gotta do is just show that in the videos, because it's like personalized. Like, yeah, you can see all the videos on this page, but if you go to that person's page, you're gonna get that feel for this person. So that's the biggest thing. You don't need a really expensive camera. I mean, most phones these days, they take crazy quality and you can do a lot with it. But as far as resources, I mean, I learned a lot on my own.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm always willing to help people, but I think at the same time, I think there's got to be a little bit of give and take where, you should be willing to also look into stuff yourself. Like, I mean, I don't do it too often because I figure some things out, but like YouTube has so many things on it. So many things. You can learn how to use TikTok and learn how to use Instagram. They'll give you tips on like basically anything. And it's definitely hard to get started, but as far as like editing your own stuff, I mean, all of that is right there on YouTube. And it's sometimes some of it's kind of like it's kind of easy just to figure out as you just play with an app or whatever, So yeah. So I'm like I said, I'm always willing to help people out, show them different things. So
okay,
yeah.
because you kind of, whether like you said, you didn't expect it to pop off the way, but your page did, so it kind of gave you the good old ambassador
Yeah.
the world, especially by you being from Jersey, and that undeniable Jersey public here. Are there any? How is the Jersey reception to your page?
Well, I mean, if I get technical, I know, like if I go into my stats, it's not that many people. I mean, it's probably, I don't know. I think Instagram stats are all mixed up. But anyway, there's some, I'd say there's, I don't know, there's a couple, I don't know an exact number, but I know there's maybe like a few thousand people from Jersey that's following the page. I mean, most people are from Baltimore, or surrounding area. And I think the main people that follow it are either people I've worked with, like when we do like a collab or something, or they just really like the style, and then they maybe sometimes connect with the other dancers or producers. So, but I mean, overall, I mean, I don't really know. I mean, there's no negativity on here. I don't go for that. I'm always for the connection and stuff like that, with Philly as well. So it's like I said, it's a smaller group that actually follows the page and engages. I mean, just because, I mean, it's just the name of the page, So what do you expect? Um, but yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, I always loved doing the collabs, and like they were going crazy. It was like, I can't believe it's almost been, yeah, it's been just about 2 years since some of the first like Be More Jersey collabs, and I
Mm-hmm.
was there at like almost all the classes too. I was
Mm-hmm.
at the first. I went to three of them. The first one was in Jersey. I was there, and a bunch of people from Be More came. That was honestly, the energy was so dope in that room, and it felt so. It was like a new thing that hasn't really been. I mean, there have been collabs before, but it wasn't like advertised, I guess you can say. Like,
Uh-huh.
there was a hype behind it, and then that was the first one with Terry and Annie kind of leading it, and then we just all came and we had a huge cipher, and I know that cipher has like over 1 million views now between
Mm-hmm.
B1. So I thought that was great for the culture. And then the second one, that one was in B-more. This time, Saquon Keys was there, so just B-more. That one was dope. I was there too, and then they had another cipher, and that cipher, I think on someone's page, has almost like 1 million views. So and that's the thing. It's funny because I know people love that when they see both of them come together.
Yeah.
People go crazy for that, and it's definitely hasn't been done in a while. I guess people just get busy and stuff. But I know like it was kicked off again. It'll definitely be like really dope to see, and I just it's kind of interesting seeing people kind of learn more about each other and stuff like that, and kind of
Mm-hmm.
just what's what and how to do this and that. So yeah.
What do you what would you like to see happen next for the Baltimore Club scene?
Well, I feel like right now I feel like people are well the way social media works these days. I feel like people are actually in a really good position if they take advantage of it. Um, what would be great to see as far as the music, it would be cool to see certain producers come back. I mean, I know they're still here, so it
Mm-hmm.
would be cool to see certain producers come back because they really played like a huge part in the scene, whether it was just dropping music for everyone or
Right.
music specifically for the dancers. And they were like some of my favorite producers. And like I said, they have all the tools they need right now. You can literally publish a track to Spotify with no help. You just need to pay, stuff like that. And you can put your own ads out there. It's really not that hard. It's just the motivation, I guess. And if that's what you really want to do. And I understand people have their different reasons for stuff, but I mean, personally, for me, I'd love to see them come back. As far as the dancers, I think they're in the same boat. They have plenty of tools. Um, to really promote themselves, like I said. And it's really not that hard. I think the simplest formula is you see what's trending, someone has a remix, everyone get together, make a video, put it on YouTube, advertise it on Instagram, and you just do that. I mean, that's the
Mm-hmm.
simplest way to get your name out there and just have like a nice presentation with it. It's automatically gonna click, like the internet's built around that. And as you do that, you can set up your own trends. Like the whole fundamental video. That one, it was just an idea I had. And funny enough, that track is like 2 years old. It wasn't dropped until later, until we
Right.
kind of talked to the producers, Juice and stuff like that, and we put it out there, and everyone wanted the track all of a sudden. So, and that's what I'm saying. You can make your own trends too. So I think, and the dancers, like I said, there's a lot of people that try and do what they've been doing for like years, and it's hard. Honestly, the style is really hard, and it
Yeah.
takes a while for it to really click. And the fact that you can do all this and you can even expand on more, like I feel they're in a great position for, like I said, themselves. And then as far as the culture in the city, and then I think what's kind of crazy though is like I've seen, there's different pages on here. Like, let's see, you got Baltimore Turkey Inc. And then you had the Baltimore Finster page. Those kids, I mean, they're really funny, but it's crazy how there has been a disconnect though with the club and them, because I mean most of them are into like rap or whatever else, and they're not into the dancing as much. Some of them don't even know about the dancing. I thought that blew my mind. I was like, wow, I can't, like, in my personal opinion, I feel like Baltimore club music is one of the best things to come out of the city, or just club music or whatever. Like, if, like, I feel like you have to mention that when talking about the city, you know what I mean? Because I feel like it just had such a huge impact that's spread to other places and other, you know, stuff like that. So even if it's not the same, I feel like you still have to mention it. And then hopefully, I mean, I know it's complicated, but I mean, those people would even get into it like that, because I feel like it's just too dope not to acknowledge. So.
Oh, so you're basically saying you want Baltimore to see Baltimore.
Say it one more time.
You want Baltimore to see Baltimore's potential.
Yeah, no, definitely, because it's funny because the ones that don't like it, or this, oh no, it's clowned out now. You play that song or show this video to someone else, they're gonna like, yo, I need to do this, and then all of a sudden some will blow up somewhere else.
What's crazy about that is being from Baltimore, born and raised here. I've heard club music pretty much all my life. And at the same time, every phase of life I can remember hearing somebody say, oh, whatever, club music is playing out now. Oh, that's this, is that. And so it's like, obviously not, because, it continues going. So it's like, it's funny to hear you say that now. It's like, I don't think anyone there's always going to be that one person who can't take off, who mad, like, oh, it's straight up. And it's like, okay. But like you said, no, you can do that one song. And what happens? Everybody loves it.
Exactly. And then, perfect example, Calvo's We From Baltimore track. As soon as that was posted, and then Jess reposted it, it was an instant hit. Everybody was bumping it. Almost like in a week, there was like almost 1,000 videos on TikTok, like that quick.
Yeah.
And whether or not they know much about club music in the city, they still liked it. Everyone's bumping. Everyone's like, "Oh, I need this. It's gonna go crazy." It still will. And I guess it's just funny to kind of see like how things have to progress sometimes with certain stuff, and for them to acknowledge it. I just wish it was more often, because sometimes I'll see, like I might, like, sometimes you might see like the Shade Room post something club music related, and everyone's arguing in the comments or whatever. But besides that, then like I just see a bunch of people from Baltimore come out the woodwork. I'm like, where are you like right now? You say you love it, but I'm like, are you actually looking for it? Did you know this page existed? You know what I mean?
And that's always, my bad, not to cut you off. That's always been like the thing. When it comes to club music is still an underground genre. It probably will end up underground, like, period. I don't even know what it would look like if it was considered mainstream a lot of times. So it's weird to be able to travel around the country, some people travel around the world, and see how viciously club music is loved. But then there's still so many people who don't know how to find it and don't know how to get to it. And it's like, on one end you can sit and say, oh, well, where are you trying to find it? But on the other end, it just comes on us for not being acceptable.
Yeah.
Like in the comments it's saying, even also in terms of the radio not playing it.
That's a whole nother thing.
Right, that's a whole nother hour.
Yeah.
When it gets down to that. So it's like, that's another reason why I feel as though your contributions of yours, like yours, as far as video, it's just that other medium that isn't touched, basically. Like, there did used to be club music on radio all the time, so you would hear that shit all the time. Now you have to beg for it, or wait until that one magical time of the day or song for a few minutes. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So it's like a lot of that kind of has to, I guess, deal with where we ended up in this
Mhm.
weird bubble of so damn popular, but
Mhm.
also unseen at the exact
Mhm.
same time. At the same
Yeah.
time.
Yeah. I mean, I think, and I know there's always that yearly conversation of what's going on with 92Q. If we want to be specific. So, and it's like, why don't you guys play this? What about this new stuff? And then I personally feel like there's a disconnect because at one point, and yeah, it was true. There was a lot of music that was coming out that was really meant for the dancers, like it's battle tracks. So they're aggressive. Not everyone's going to be into it unless you're at a battle or something. So I get it. But then I feel like that started to get phased out, and more people are making more tracks that anybody can enjoy. And
Right.
when you tell them that, they would still say, "Oh no, this music's too aggressive. It's not gonna work on the radio." And I'm like, I don't know what you're talking about because I actually have like 100 tracks right here that would be perfect for the radio. So, but I feel like they just get stuck in their head with that thing, and I mean that's a whole process of undoing. But if people actually want to work on that, but I mean with everything that we have now, I wouldn't even worry too much about it. I mean, I definitely think, honestly, I think the biggest thing for club music in the city would be having a space where it's played like on a regular basis. I don't even think it's the radio. It's having that space where like, oh, it's Friday night. We know about what we're about to do. You know what I mean? And then
Mm-hmm.
someone there is, one, they have all the classics, and two, they're staying on top of what's happening now, and then three, they also know how to engage the dancers and entertain everybody. So, because like I used to watch, shoot, what was it? Um, I try to remember the YouTube channel. They were like everywhere with the parties at the docks, skate works. It was like the teen parties and stuff. I just can't remember it'll probably pop up later. But anyway, I used to watch like,
But like
the parties at, huh?
like the takeover
Yeah,
parties.
takeover parties. Like I would watch those on YouTube, and like I said, it was like the perfect thing. You had everyone coming just because they wanted to party.
The
Oh, Wiz
Bobby.
TV, that's the Jersey. But yeah, in Baltimore's Takeover Tie. I remember that. So anyway, I would watch those. So first you had your regular part of the parties, and then they'd have play music for everyone just to dance to, and then they might even have a dance battle on the weekend or something, and everyone would just form that big circle and watch. So if something can happen like that again, I think it would start to cultivate it, and then more people would come out and be like, yo, I need to learn how to do that and stuff.
That used to be it. Like, again, if you peep in the comments, man, we used to be at these places
Mm.
every week,
Yeah,
and,
yeah,
and there were a number of people who the promoter groups, like there were so many of us,
mm,
and all we did was create places that,
mm,
yeah, it's like fire. We rented out fire halls. We rented out like random dance studios. Like, we could put a party if we couldn't get into the club. Again, also because back then, and I shouldn't say back then because it's the same case. There were a lot of people who weren't 21 who were involved, so we couldn't always get into the club.
mm.
So there would be parties like all over the place, and that's kind of the situation that got out because these people who were doing that, either they aged out or they got tired of it, or when it comes to the clubs and the venues, all of them pretty much closed by now. So
Yeah,
I'm a big advocate of what you're saying. I've always been like, oh, we need a black-owned place in Baltimore, and that's like the anchor, I think, because that would solve everything. It would give people a place to see. It would create the economy around it necessary, and
yeah,
it would give the DJ is a place to play music. A dancer is
yeah,
a place to dance. The videographer is a place to come and shoot shit. Like, it would be all inclusive. And I think that's like kind of the last thing that's missing because we don't have a home. So it's like
yeah.
kind of
Definitely.
floating in the internet in the random places. And again, like you said, this day in COVID, there's no clue. There's no
Yeah,
clue how long it'll be before we can actually get back to that type of party. You know, like
exactly.
we're gonna have to be in the alley, you know, on the nice days, like the rest of our life.
You know something about that though. While there hasn't been a solid place in a long time, I mean, I really appreciate the alley because I feel like it's like,
Yeah,
one, it's like a landmark, and then two, every time like when I would go, and even when I watch videos, there's always like random onlookers. They'll just come and watch, and sometimes randomly find the videos that they took on social media, and they're like blown away, and I feel
yeah.
like it's like that little gem. It's just like a random Saturday afternoon. You happen to drive by Graffiti Alley, and there's like a huge crowd. You just hear this music blasting, and you just get tuned into the battles. And I mean, there's definitely been different segments on it. I still have a video somewhere. I remember when Be More Than Dance was doing a little interview about it and stuff. And I feel like that it's kind of like just echoes the scene and the city in a way. So I think it's definitely like a really dope and important part of the culture. So but ultimately, like you said, I mean, there definitely needs to be a space. I mean, I think honestly, I think if enough people came together, we could probably make it happen. So.
It can be nice, and I know what's going to happen because there's been a lot of attempts at it, and
Mhm.
I know I, I just know it'll happen. And if it does come down to 5 or 6 people coming together with a couple thousand, and just making the move,
Yeah.
it'll. But the city's a weird place right now when it comes to buying buildings and getting the permits for that and stuff. With what's
Mhm.
going on with the city itself and the casino over that also is like a whole nother $1 million long conversation.
Mhm.
Especially with what the docks has turned into or will be turning into once they finish what they're doing with new hammerjacks and all that. But okay, we're more or less at the end of the hour. Alex, is there anything else that we didn't touch on? I feel like we touched on most of that. Instead of
Um, let
anything
me
else you
think.
want to throw out
I
there or
mean,
speak on?
I pretty much touched on everything. I guess just another like touch on like future like goals. I mean, like I
Yeah.
said, there's just so many things. Especially, I kind of regret not like I got real tired at some point just with work. I didn't want to go to here. I didn't want to film this video and stuff. Like I was burned out. I remember when they started, like for example, PB&J, which was
Mm-hmm.
kind of started by Unique. So it's Philly, Be More, and Jersey, and those parties was really those parties were really fun. It was like the first official event where you can have people from Be More, Jersey, and Philly in one spot. And honestly, that was one of the things I've been wanting to do for like years. Whether it was maybe not necessarily a party, but collabs between the producers and the dancers, like on a consistent basis. And it hasn't happened. Like I said, it hasn't happened too much recently. But I mean, I know who to contact and like who should be in it and stuff. So. So that's one thing. I want to do more of that. And I think it would be kind of cool for the culture. But at the same time, I'm just trying to get the dancers and producers here just more on a, steady, kind of consistent kind of basis. And like I said, that's another story I touched on a little bit. I mean, they're there. It's just doing certain things and getting certain things done, really. And but right now, I'm kind of like in the middle of revamping the channel. Like I
Mm-hmm.
also the YouTube channel, I'd upload tracks on there, but I haven't really uploaded any tracks in months.
Mm-hmm.
The reason, I mean, one, I kind of got busy, and then two, I think there was a little bit of like a slowdown period. But there's so many tracks I have not put on there, but I want to just have a complete like fresh look before I start up again. But there's a bunch of like small projects and ideas that I have um, and that I would collaborate with some of the producers for that. So that's something else I gotta finish up. But I mean, overall, I mean that's pretty much it. So I mean, I just all kinds of things we keep going on, but I mean, for a broad overview, I think that covers it. So yeah.
All right. Well, I want to thank you so much, I know it took a little bit, but I finally caught you. Haha.
Yeah, I know. My bad. My bad. No,
No,
but no.
no.
Thank you for having me and everything. I really appreciate you reaching out. I really have been enjoying the series. So for those of you that have not been checking out, definitely go on her page on IGTV and check out the other episodes. You know, you got Black Star, Sega. You have some of the new people, Calvo. So it's definitely someone you gotta check it out. So you're gonna learn a lot of good stuff.
I appreciate the love. I appreciate all that. You know, we're gonna build a history, and one day we're gonna have the great website.
Oh yeah.
And put all this shit together so that we know, and then the building that we get, we can have a museum.
Yeah, it's gonna come. I see it coming together. I think while the world's crazy right now, I still think there's a lot of good things that could potentially come. So
Absolutely. Especially from all of this. But all right, let me see. Who's that? Who would you like to nominate for me to come find
Nominate for what?
to talk to you for this interview series?
I'm gonna have to think. I don't know. I mean, did you already have like you're talking about your series, not?
Yeah. So that
I gotta think. I have to hit you up on that.
Coming up at some point in time, I have Mike Mumbles, I have Samir, I have Scotty.
You should hit up DJ Class.
I should.
I talk to him all the time. We got some stuff coming, so some really dope stuff.
Mixing, we'll bother our elders, and then get the rest of the kids all at the same time.
Yeah.
I just don't know what era. I'm coming for you. And Fries, I'm coming for you. All y'all. We just gotta get up on the calendar.
Exactly.
But thank you so much. Episode 8, good times. I'll see y'all again on Thursday.
All right. Make sure y'all tune in. All right. Peace, Ducky.
Peace.
Hey, you knuckleheads.
Hey, you knuckleheads.
Walking down the avenue.
Walking down the avenue.
A few more streets and we'll be through.
A few more streets and we'll be through.
Fangtown, North and P Park.